Tonight on Texas News Primetime. UT begins demolition of the Steve Hicks School of Social Work.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton files a lawsuit against the city of Austin.
The vice presidential debate takes place tomorrow night.
SpaceX launches capsule to rescue stranded astronauts.
Saturday Night Live's 50th season premiered on Saturday. This is Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Good evening. For Monday, September 30th, I'm Audrey Wong.
And I'm Trent Lamm. Thank you for joining us tonight.
UT has begun the demolition of the Steve Hicks School of Social Work, despite calls from preservation groups to save the historic building. Built in 1933, the School of Social Work building was originally an integrated junior high school, which paved the way for desegregation in Texas public schools. According to KVUE, the university plans to build a new football training facility on the site, announced in spring of 2023. Classes in the School of Social Work moved from the Walter Webb Hall at the start of the school year, but they will permanently be housed in the McCombs School of Business in 2028. Last Tuesday, the U.S. News & World Report released its 2024 undergraduate rankings, and the University of Texas at Austin is once again one of the top universities in the country. The university was ranked as the #1 public university in Texas, the #7 public university in the country, and number 30 in the country overall, including both public and private universities. Also earning significant recognition was the McCombs School of Business, ranked #6 overall and #1 in accounting, the Cockrell School of Engineering, ranked #10 overall, and the Computer Science program, ranked #10 overall as well. In total, 26 UT undergraduate programs landed in the top 10. On Thursday, University President Jay Hartzell shared on X, previously known as Twitter, that the University of Texas at Austin is ranked globally by startup founders. This number 9, is determined based off of the total number of alumni entrepreneurs in the past decade. Based on the analysis through PitchBook, UT Austin has a grand total of 842 entrepreneurs since January 1st, 2013. Hartzell ended his post by saying, quote, "It is no surprise, and we're in excellent company," end quote.
A man was pronounced dead on Friday after a shooting in a northeast Austin HEB. Authorities say the man was found with, quote, "obvious signs of trauma," end quote. Witnesses say the shooting happened during an altercation with a security guard. Homicide detectives have detained someone for investigation, but the identity of the individual has not been revealed. The HEB has since opened back up for shoppers. Last Friday, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against the city of Austin for allocating funds to help residents acquire out-of-state abortions. At the Austin City Council's August budgeting meeting, over $400,000 was designated to support individuals seeking out-of-state abortions as a result of the 2021 state law, which states that abortion in Texas is banned in nearly every circumstance except when an individual risks death as a result of pregnancy. Paxton claims the city has effectively violated the gift clause, which the Supreme Court has historically interpreted to bar the allocation of public funds to individual people and entities. The Austin City Limits Music Festival kicks off this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and will continue next weekend in Zilker Park. If you are attending, be sure to activate your wristband and download the ACL Festival mobile app before you go. Also, check out the festival website for details on prohibited items and bag policies. TSTV News will be reporting from Festival, so stay tuned for concert and artist coverage on our website and social media.
A Houston judge was indicted on Thursday over accusations of making fake and racist social media posts in 2022. The posts were made as Fort Bend County Judge K.P. George ran for re-election in 2022. The judge and his former chief of staff used an alias Antonio Scallywag to create racist posts targeting George, garnering sympathy and attention for his campaign. George was given a misdemeanor charge for misrepresentation of identity of a candidate, and Fort Bend officials are calling for George to resign. The Texas Department of Public Safety announced the death of Highway Patrol Trooper Kevin Alexis Ramirez Vasquez, who died following a traffic crash in Ector County. Ramirez Vasquez was investigating a traffic accident around 9 a.m. on September 17th when he was hit by a vehicle. Vasquez suffered serious injuries and was taken to a local hospital, where he passed away on September 28th. Ramirez Vasquez began his law enforcement career in 2023, staying in Odessa. Prior to his time in Highway Patrol, he served in the United States Army and National Guard. Funeral arrangements are to be determined. A federal judge ruled that a Texas law targeting vote harvesting is unconstitutional due to its ambiguity and its limitation on free speech. The law imposed several punishments on individuals allegedly receiving payment for providing vote harvesting services. Voter advocacy organizations, such as the League of United Latin American Citizens, argued that the state of Texas was attempting to limit voter access and combat voter outreach, as the state was spreading negative rhetoric regarding the security of elections through policy. Many noted that the law promoted voter apathy and inherently affected more marginalized communities. United States Judge Xavier Rodriguez's decision immediately stopped Texas's ability to investigate voter harvesting cases under this law. The ACLU of Texas celebrated the ruling on X, saying, quote, "This is a win for voting rights in the state and for the organizations that help keep elections accessible," end quote.
Hurricane Helene made landfall and traveled up the southeast U.S. last week, leaving severe devastation and flooding across several states. Over 60 deaths have been reported thus far, and millions are without power and basic necessities. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp remarked that the storm, quote, "spared no one," end quote, and Asheville, North Carolina found itself cut off from the outside world entirely when all paths into the city were flooded and cell service cut out. Although the hurricane has already hit, it looks like millions will continue to weather the storm. Additional heavy rainfall is scheduled to come through the southern Appalachian region throughout this week, which could worsen existing flooding. Vice presidential candidates J.D. Vance and Tim Walz will debate tomorrow night in the last major event of the 2024 campaign. With Election Day nearing, this will likely be the final chance for Democratic and Republican tickets to make an impression on undecided voters. Unlike last month's presidential debate, moderators will not fact-check statements made by the candidates, according to CBS News. The debate will begin at 8 p.m. Central Time and take place at CBS's Broadcast Center in New York. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, pled not guilty last Friday to several charges. The former police captain faces charges including bribery, wire fraud, conspiracy, and receiving campaign funds from a foreign national. The indictment against him revealed claims that Adams utilized over $100,000 to take lavish trips to Turkey, where he also did favors to Turkish officials who donated to his campaign. With the help of foreign nationals, his campaign funding reached $10 million. If convicted, Adams could face 20 years in prison. It seems that other city officials are also under investigation. One of Adams' closest affiliates, Ingrid Lewis Martin, was recently served with a subpoena by federal investigators.
7 high-ranking members of the militant group Hezbollah have been killed in Israeli airstrikes throughout the past week, including the group's leader, Hassan Nasrallah. Operating primarily in Lebanon, Hezbollah was previously the most powerful militant group in the nation, but has recently struggled to maintain power following the death of several key members, some of whom have been present in the group since the 1980s. Several key Hezbollah commanders remain in control of the group, but are on Israel's radar, according to the Associated Press. Floods in Nepal have led to the deaths of nearly 200. In the capital, Kathmandu, where 34 of the deaths occurred, the city was cut off from the rest of the country by landslides which blocked off major highways. The Nepal Armed Police Force has been able to rescue nearly 3,700 civilians, although dozens remain missing. Although Nepal has faced consistent flooding in recent years, climate scientists reportedly told CNN that this year's flooding was especially bad as a result of climate change. Port workers from Texas to Maine have planned a strike for early morning Tuesday. If workers with the International Longshore Association walk off the job on Tuesday, the nation could face shipping shortages of chocolate, bananas, cherries, and other produce items. The union's demand includes a $5 per hour pay raise, equivalent to about a 10% annual pay raise. Economists reportedly told CNN that if the union demands are met and the strike ends quickly, the economic cost would be minimal, but added that a prolonged strike could prove problematic for the nation's exports. When we come back, the World Health Organization and TikTok are partnering to promote health literacy. Primetime will be right back.
13 of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. Congress is pushing to lower the cost of weight loss drugs. TSTV News' Emmy Adams has the latest. How are you doing today, Emmy?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Trent. Congress is pushing to lower the cost of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. In a Capitol Hill meeting on Tuesday, Senator Bernie Sanders told the CEO of the Danish company producing these drugs to, quote, "stop ripping us off," end quote. The CEO has told Sanders he's willing to work on an agreement with Congress to make these products more accessible. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams were originally scheduled to stay on the International Space Station for a week, but by the time they return home, they will have spent 8 straight months in space. SpaceX launched a capsule from Florida this past week to rescue them. The two were left on the ISS after their Boeing Starliner they were originally going to board to travel back to Earth experienced a multitude of trouble with its thrusters and helium gas leaks. NASA determined that it was too risky to put humans on the spaceship, so the Starliner re-entered Earth's atmosphere without its crew. The SpaceX rescue mission is set to be completed when the repair returns to Earth in late February next year. Last Thursday, the World Health Organization and TikTok announced a partnership aimed at promoting health literacy. The World Health Organization will use FIDES, a network of over 80 healthcare influencers, to break stigmas, build communities, and provide resources. Since FIDE's launch in 2020, the World Health Organization has used it as a way to spread accurate information in media to facilitate increased public health knowledge. The World Health Organization intends to translate health information into digestible content through the use of short-form TikTok videos, usually under 1 minute in length.
Thanks, Emmy, for bringing us up to date on the world of STEM and business. Tomorrow is National Taco Day, and Taco Bell is celebrating with special offers. Can you catch us up on life and arts news?
Thanks, Audrey. The LBJ Library kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month during Austin's Museum Day. TSTV was on site during the festivities.
To celebrate Austin Museum Day, the Lyndon B. Johnson Presidential Library opened its doors with a special event to kick off Hispanic Heritage Month. Visitors enjoyed the chance to do a variety of fun arts and crafts, read storybooks, and listen to Afro-Cuban band Sofrito y Sumalao perform live. Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs from September 15th to October 15th, celebrates the contributions of Hispanics throughout the history of the United States. The month commences on the 15th of September, coinciding with the anniversary of independence for several Latin American countries. President Lyndon B. Johnson instituted what was originally Hispanic Heritage Week in 1968. 20 years later, President Ronald Reagan extended the observance to last the entire month each year. When asked what inspired her to organize the event, education specialist Sheila Mehta said it was the community.
Earlier this spring, I received an envelope of student essays from Mr. Rader's class down at East Velasco High School, and they had written extensively on the history of Hispanic Heritage Week. And as I was reading through these beautiful essays that he sent to me, I thought, we need to do more, and realized, my goodness, Austin Museum Partnership's annual Austin Museum Day is right after Hispanic Heritage Month starts. It's a natural fit. Never look back.
With a significant connection to the institution's namesake and a large Hispanic population here in Texas, the library says it plans to make the event an annual occurrence each year. For TSTV News, I'm Audrey Wong.
Campus Events and Entertainment will be hosting a movie screening of Spy Kids on Wednesday in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. The event will take place in the Texas Union Theater with crafts and trivia starting at 7:30 p.m. and the movie beginning at 8 p.m. There will also be snacks and prizes. The event is free to attend with your UT ID. Tomorrow, October 1st, is National Taco Day. The national calendar officially moved the holiday from October 4th to the first Tuesday of October, thanks to the efforts of popular fast food chain Taco Bell. Now, the holiday will always be held on Taco Tuesday. To commemorate this switch, Taco Bell will be celebrating with $1 tacos for every hour for 10 hours tomorrow. Rewards members are able to redeem this offer from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with a different taco being offered each hour. The celebration continues throughout the month with other offerings dropping every Tuesday, including a trip to Taco Bell headquarters and exclusive merchandise.
When we come back, Texas volleyball starts off conference plays 2-0. For Press Box on Primetime, we'll be right back.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. Texas football won 35-13 this past weekend. Campbell Choate has the latest for Press Box on Primetime. How are you doing today, Campbell?
I'm good. Right now is a great time to be a Texas sports fan, so I'm just ready to get into it.
Well, Texas football is officially 1-0 in the SEC Conference play going into our bye week. But they're no longer number one. How did Texas look on Saturday?
Yeah, Texas fans remember what it's like to worry a little. Before Saturday's game against Mississippi State, Texas only allowed 22 points over 4 games, but penalties and some play calling decisions made the game what Coach Shark described it as herky-jerky.
But we can't continue to play games with 2 turnovers and false starts and holding penalties and playing behind the chains. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. So we're going to have to clean that stuff up.
Still won 35-13. Jaden Blue was the first to get on the board with 1-yard touchdown, and DeAndre Moore had himself a game. Coming in clutch multiple times, Moore scored 2 touchdowns, his first being 49 yards. Isaiah Bond get on the action and scored his 4th touchdown of the season. But what felt like the longest drive on earth came towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Arch Manning runs 26 yards for a first down, then Texas runs twice with a no gain, and then Arch finally gets in the end zone for the second to last touchdown of the game. and there was some debate on whether or not that first run was a touchdown. But true freshman Colin Simmons ends the game with 2 sacks, and Anthony Hill, Vernon Broughton, Baron Sorrell, and Colton Vossick get 1 too. Texas enters the bye week and will face Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl next week. But like I said, Texas is no longer number 1 because Bama's number 1. They put up 21 points in the first quarter against Georgia. Georgia comes back, and then true freshman Ryan Williams scores the game-winning touchdown, and the Crimson Tide win 41-35.
And speaking of Texas sports, Texas volleyball has started off their conference play 2-0 and are the first to say they beat Texas A&M in the SEC. How do the Longhorns do this weekend?
Yeah, as a university, Texas is now 2-0 against A&M, so I think that's a bit of a win. With Texas soccer beating the Aggies 2-0 last night. But Texas volleyball is starting off strong in the SEC after a bit of a rocky start to their season. Texas had issues with hitting errors and being unable to go on a run, but their game against A&M was the first time in a little bit that we've seen them go on a run and bounce back. Texas takes the first set, A&M takes the second, and then the Longhorns hold the Aggies for the last 2. But that Texas fight was definitely tested a few times. Despite the win, Texas strung together 6 points to go from a tie game to being up 17-12 in the third set. Reagan Rutherford, Maddie Skinner, and Devin Kahahawai led with 11 kills, and then 2 days later, Texas beats LSU 3-0. The Longhorns' next game is at home against South Carolina on Wednesday at 6:30.
And what's the latest on the Cowboys and the Texans?
Yeah, the Cowboys got a much-needed win finally on Thursday against the Giants, winning 20-15. Dak threw 2 touchdowns for the Cowboys' 7th straight win over the Giants. The Texans are now 3-1 with their 24-20 win against the Jags yesterday. C.J. Stroud had a touchdown pass with just 18 seconds left in the game for the game-winning touchdown. The Texans play the Bills on Sunday at noon, and the Cowboys will play the Steelers in Pittsburgh at 7.
Thank you so much for your insight, Campbell. And coming up, actress Maggie Smith passed away on Friday. Primetime will be right back with the story.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. The true crime Netflix series Monsters is stirring up controversy. McKenna Valentine joins us now to spill the tea. How are you doing today, McKenna?
I'm doing well, Trent. Thank you. The hype behind a new Netflix show has led to the resurfacing of one of the 90s most popular crime cases. Monsters, created by Ryan Murphy, portrays the story of the Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle, who shot and killed their parents roughly 30 years ago, following claims of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse. The show has sparked controversies online, including claims that the story includes factual inaccuracies, over-sexualizes the characters, and includes dated perceptions of men as sexual assault victims. Eric Menendez, sentenced to life in prison, responded to the show in an ex post shared by his wife.
calling it a dishonest portrayal of the tragedy. With this renewed attention, the public is now watching for a decision on the brothers' appeal, which they filed last May following the discovery of new evidence. According to Eric's daughter, a decision should be released within 60 days.
What have been your thoughts on the new show?
I think it's important to have a variety of perspectives, and this show is potentially a good way to do that. Actress Maggie Smith passed away on Friday, September 27, 2024. Known for her work in the Harry Potter movies and TV series Downton Abbey, Smith was loved by many. Her career lasted over 70 years. She won 2 Oscars and received the title of Dame from Queen Elizabeth II for her work in the dramatic arts. Smith passed away in a London hospital at age 89. Her cause of death is unknown.
Are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
I do enjoy the story. This Saturday marks the premiere of Saturday Night Live's 50th consecutive season. Emmy winner Jean Smart hosted the episode while a slew of new SNL alums returned in cameo roles for the cold open. This included Maya Rudolph taking center stage as Vice President Kamala Harris and Andy Samberg as Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. Future hosts this season have been announced, including pop singer Ariana Grande and stand-up comedian John Mulaney, hosting his 6th episode.
What are you most looking forward to for this season of SNL?
I'm looking forward to John Mulaney's performance.
Well, that's your Monday Night Briefing. I'm Audrey Wong.
And I'm Trent Lamm. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for watching.
Now go out and change your world.